When done properly, the internet, screens, and particularly social media can provide 5 essential elements of adolescent well-being: a sense of control over one's environment, individuation, self-expression, a connection to others, and acceptance. And then there is the abyss. Welcome to App-Propriate, a podcast designed to give you a little taste into the positives and negatives of the most popular social media apps, so that you and your most importants can make more informed, healthy, and safer choices when it comes to interacting through your screens. I'm your host, Joe Langford. Note that I said safer, not safe. Interacting through screens with other humans contains a degree of natural risk, just like real life. And I believe that education leads to empowerment, and I hope this information helps add a degree of safety, social responsibility, and good digital citizenship to your social networking and the conversations you have about it with your family. Today's episode is about cheat apps. Back in the day, when we said things like back in the day, students looking for shortcuts with their homework had to bribe an older sibling, find the Cliff's Notes, or look at a friend's work, like animals. Today, homework help sites and apps make it a lot easier to cheat. Even ridiculously complex calculus equations can be solved by just uploading a photo of the problem, and chapter-by-chapter lit summaries can be downloaded to a phone in minutes. These apps are marketed as homework helpers, and some of them do teach kids how to solve problems and complete tasks on their own, but the instant gratification of letting your phone do all the work for you is a huge temptation for a lot of kids. Cheat apps are easy to misuse. It's important for parents to be aware of them so you can help kids learn how to use them responsibly as a supplement to, not a replacement for, learning. Monitoring the use of these apps can be tricky. Checking their devices to determine if new apps have been downloaded is one option. Having kids do their homework in common areas of the house could help, but may not be realistic. But stating your expectations around both homework and downloads is the best course of action. This can be coupled with keeping passwords on your kids' phones. For example, in order for my kids to download or delete a new app, they need me to put my code in their devices. This way I can stay aware of not only what's going on their devices, but which things require follow-up. So what are some of these apps to be aware of? Well, there are loads of them, which I put into 2 primary categories. The first category of homework helper app involves the ones that could be helpful to children when used with guidance. These sites can be used to supplement kids' research and help kids who are struggling when used appropriately. Photomath is an example of this. To get an answer with this app, you point your device at a math problem, snap a picture, and you're provided the solution. Photomath also displays the steps required to complete the problem for free, and even more detailed explanations can be accessed through purchased upgrades. Socratic Math and Homework Help and Khan Academy do the same kinds of things with a wider range of class subjects, including chemistry and history, as well as offering supplemental material and other resources. Apps like these provide kids answers, but also the step-by-step solutions that led to them, which helps students better understand the problem. SparkNotes is another great example of this. It specializes in literature subjects, offering a wealth of information, including full transcripts of famous books and plays and poetry. It also offers resources and information likely to appear on tests, like quotations, character information, and plot analyses. These apps can be misused, but when used responsibly, are great examples of using technology to facilitate learning. The second category are best avoided entirely. Homework Helper allows students to post a picture or type their homework questions onto online forums and basically crowdsources help or answers. There are lots of versions of this particular app. The one thing that sets Homework Helper apart is that the users who answer the people's questions can actually earn e-currency by participating. Wolfram Alpha is an app that solves math problems on the fly. And while the intention may be to help students figure out how to do the math or better understand their homework, the temptation of that instant and immediate answer without all that exhausting effort of thinking it through on their own is pretty powerful. EssayBot lets students cobble together essays from a menu of pre-written paragraphs and straight up buy a selection of essays categorized from good to powerful. And they even offer a guarantee that the phony essays will pass the plagiarism detection software that some teachers use. Again, platforms and options like these are best avoided entirely. Instead, encourage your kids to use alternative apps or real-time resources such as student-teacher communication, study groups, or tutoring that offer real help and facilitate learning. There are also other ways that kids can use technology to go at their schoolwork in less than ethical ways. From using apps to store notes like digital cheat sheets, to apps that help teens actually print crib notes on fake nutritional information labels so they smuggle them into tests undetected on the sides of their water bottles. There are modern versions of note passing through texting friends in class or under your desk, or snapping a picture and posting it to a group on social media or a predetermined text thread, and just good old-fashioned copying and pasting and passing off a Wikipedia article as your own work. Some of these techniques are more obviously not okay than others, and some kids don't recognize that using some of these apps can actually count as cheating. For those who do cheat on purpose, their motivations can range. Both laziness and the high demand of sports, parents, part-time jobs, or other responsibilities can make cheating sometimes seem like a fast, victimless option. Academic pressure and a perceived need to seek a competitive edge for college and scholarships lead other kids to cheat too, sometimes assuming their parents would prefer a falsely earned gain than poorer but more accurate grades. Aspects of teen life look so different than it did when we were our kids' age, and there are just so many things we need to make time to talk about that many of us parents, in fact, almost 70%, don't ever talk to our kids about cheating. Not my kid syndrome factors into this as well, but it's important to realize that there are some technologies that make crossing those lines seem easy, consequence-free, and commonplace. Even the good kids, the smart kids, and the rule followers can be tempted by this fuzzy dynamic. In fact, kids from homes in which high academic achievement is expected, is seen as status, or the primary path to future success are more likely to cross a line in service of that pressure than the kid who only gets average moral grades. In addition to talking to your teen about the academic and social consequences of cheating, here's some other steps parents can take in service of these important conversations. Say the word cheating, and be clear that it doesn't align with your family values. Help your kid develop a healthy moral compass by role modeling honesty. And if you do cross a line, as most parents do on occasion, say letting them watch a PG-13 flick before that birthday, or fudging a birth date so that they can stay on the flag football team with their bestie for one more season, call it out, do it on purpose, discuss your rationale, and show them what your litmus is in your decision making. Check your own unconscious motivations and messages. Do you often brag about graduating first in your class? Did you get straight A's? Do you compare your kids' academics to your own? What degrees do you have? How many do you have? Whether our intention or not, kids will often believe that their parents' high levels of achievement are their parents' expectations for them too. This causes a lot of problems, not only in making cheating seem sometimes necessary or needed to keep up or gain parental respect, but the self-esteem fallout can be huge, sometimes even lethal. Let your child know that the expectation is that they're doing their legit best, that they do not have to follow in our footsteps or do it better than we did, that the learning and the life skill is in the effort, and that those things weigh more on a scale than a letter grade. Let your child know that their own earned grades are what you're interested in, not a falsely constructed report card. In the end, no one's going to give a crap if they got a C in AP Bio. But are they developing a good work ethic? Prioritizing education and self-improvement, making and keeping good friends, learning to deal with pitfalls and adversity, communicating effectively with authority figures, navigating difficult people, and managing their time and schedule to get all those itty-bitty, mind-numbing, and obnoxious things they have to get done every single day? In real life, there is no algebra, but they will have to do those other things every day, just like we do. Stay involved in their education and set clear homework times. Talk about their classwork and keep communication lines open with their school. Work to identify any learning or classroom issues that may be getting in the way of accurate or passing grades, and discuss how they can use their tech to positive and ethical advantage. When in doubt, loop their teachers into the conversation. And if you do catch your teen cheating, allow them to face their consequences. Cheating can have a range of consequences, from you taking devices away for a period of time to not being able to participate in activities either at home or school, to a 0 grade, a detention, even a suspension. Those things suck, but they will build character and help them make a hopefully different choice going forward. Us helicoptering in to rescue them or negotiate with their teachers does nothing to help them in that situation. What is helpful is working to find out why they cheated. Is it about them? Is it about you? The material itself? Is it a time issue or about comprehension? Are they cheating to avoid something like anxiety or stress? Or to get or keep something like an award or position on a team or your approval? Parental interventions around these root issues will bond you closer and reduce the likelihood of future cheating. Technology, since the beginning of time, has always had the ability and potential for both good and evil. And parent-child communication and conversation is integral in determining whether your teen's use of technology will enhance or hinder their learning. Thank you for listening. I'm Joe Langford. I'm a therapist, a sex and tech educator, and a dad, and I specialize in helping families navigate that intersection of adolescence, sexuality, technology, and behavior. More information about me and my work to promote healthy, positive, and safer sexual and social behavior, both online and off, can be found at my website, beheroes.net.
The advice presented in this podcast is a form of education and is intended to provide general information about common though broad topics that impact underage people. Specific circumstances and facts may make said advice unsuitable and/or other actions necessary for individuals. This podcast is meant to be an adjunct, not a replacement, for IRL experience, professional advice, and good old-fashioned common sense. In addition, much of the information included here can and most likely will change with time, culture, and the rapid development of technology. BeHeroes.net does not seek nor accept any monetary gain or financial support from any social media platform mentioned. BeHeroes.net is committed to providing quality consulting, coaching, product, speaker, and contracted therapeutic services, advocacy, and resources to clients, visitors, customers, colleagues, and fans. Appropriate is produced by BeHeroes.net.